We're going to put it back in the hands of the drivers. And boys, have at it.
Oh, all right, guys. Now that my nightmare is over and we all made the right decision here, how about you make the right decision? Support Fission Energy. They support the channel, so support them. And their product is actually good. I'm not trying to influence you to buy something that's bad. It's good. A custom energy drink, you can customize the dial up here so you can make it really strong. You can make it very weak. You can have it just to be water, because the water bottle, this is a water bottle. There's not an actual energy drink in here. The energy drink is right there. They have 6 different flavors. I've tried all of them. I like some more than others, but I like all of them because you could, again, customize the flavor. So if you don't like it in one way, you could just change it up and make it taste better. So, yeah, I like all of them. They're all very good. Check them out in the link in the description below. All you gotta do is just click the link. You'll get a discount code off your purchase. And as always, thank you, Fission Energy, for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel. Now let's get into this. How's it going, guys? I have made a video about this before with NASCAR going to more horsepower, but there was one added little thing about it, the spoiler size and some things they said. And so I just want to make another video talking about this. If you guys don't know, which you hopefully haven't been living under a rock, 670 horsepower, 4-inch spoilers. I think Brad Keselowski said it drives like a 2005 Cup car. And that's literally what we're going to have in NASCAR in 2022, which genuinely still, like, it's I've had a week to probably, like, process it. Still, like, I can't wrap my head around it. I'm just so surprised by it. But surprised in a good way. I'm very happy. I think a lot of us all are very happy and very funny, guys, that a lot of people are, going on Twitter and tweeting about their thoughts. And I'm not just talking about fans. I'm talking about drivers and teams and spotters and all these people who have been very quiet recently about certain stuff going on. They've been very quiet. But now, when this decision is made, now everyone's all happy-go-lucky. Everyone's very happy. It just goes to show, no matter what you guys think, those secret fines, what did Brian France ever say it was, the conduct detrimental to NASCAR stock, or whatever the heck that stupid phrase was, those secret fines, they exist. No one will ever say it. They exist, which is why most drivers stay, well, not a kiss noise, but like silent. But this is not detrimental to NASCAR auto racing stock car, whatever the heck Brian France wanted to say. This is not. This is exactly what we wanted. And just very interesting that NASCAR is saying this is exactly what they wanted, because it's a complete 180 from what they wanted a year ago. So to be fair, they've consistently said they want pack racing, and it's just flipped. I don't know. I don't know. It's very odd to me. So 670 horsepower and a 4-inch spoiler. I said in my previous video I thought they should go with 6, but they're going with 4, which is going to make the car even harder to drive, and it essentially negates any pack racing whatsoever. That weird, just odd, from 2019 to 2021 pack racing, full throttle racing, whatever we want to call it. I don't care what anyone says. It is just so ungodly wrong to think that was quality racing. I'm pretty sure during that whole time, the few races that I personally said I enjoyed, because you could still enjoy that race, like, right? Racing is racing, cars passing each other, whatever. But to say that's quality racing, I think I've only ever said it like twice, and I think both of them were at Kansas, because Kansas was a really good racetrack. Maybe the 2019 Charlotte All-Star race, maybe, but that was more for entertainment, like 3-wide, pack racing, all that stuff. But if you actually enjoyed that nonsense, I don't know what to tell you. It's not fun to drive, not fun to watch. It's just whatever. But luckily, that's gone. And I mean, that's one of the main things I always complained about, and I don't gotta complain about it anymore. I'm just really happy. Like, I don't know what else to say. But I want to share some things that Steve O'Donnell said. And guys, I just want to point out, don't give Steve O'Donnell any hate. All you people on Twitter, and I'm not gonna say YouTube. I'm talking to people on Twitter. If someone from Twitter is watching this, the fans kind of ran him off, so don't be rude to him. But he said it's been a 2-year process. NASCAR Executive Vice President and Chief Racing Development Officer. So certainly it came down to Friday. But that was really through all the work, the thousands of hours of on-track testing, collaboration with the industry, and continued tests to really narrow down what could be the final rule package for the next-gen car. Friday, we were able to solidify that. We met with the industry, a number of drivers post-test on Friday with the packages we had narrowed down and really hit what we all thought would be a great next-gen car in terms of going out under one rules package with 670 horsepower and then a low downforce 4-inch spoiler, which we believe we can implement across all our tracks outside of Superspeedways. So the bottom line of all this, and you'll hear from the drivers, is that this package with the next-gen car puts it back in the driver's hands, and we're excited about what that will do in 2022. I've heard this all before. Literally in 2010, there was a complete advertising campaign about putting it back in the driver's hands, and that was more about rule sets and letting drivers fight and argue and all that stuff. So I've heard this before.
We're going to put it back in the hands of the drivers. And boys, have at it, have at it, have at it. We're going to put it back in the drivers.
Now, everything Mr. O'Donnell said there is correct. I mean, that's right. But here's where I don't want to criticize in any way, but I'm a little bit confused. Because literally just a few months ago, we had Atlanta be reconfigured. And we had drivers coming out, Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick specifically, talking about, if you guys want pack racing, let us help you to achieve that pack racing. Since 2019, for tracks above 1.5 miles, the clear direction NASCAR has stated is that we want pack racing, full throttle racing. In their stupid fan council that no one pays attention to because it's a bunch of manipulated crap, but in their fan council, you couldn't. So right here, Steve O'Donnell says, technically 670 is not high horsepower, but more horsepower, lower downforce. That wasn't even an option to pick in the fan council when they asked you guys in the fan council, like, what would you prefer? It was some sort of version of high downforce, low horsepower. They just asked it in different ways. So this has clearly been not a 2-year process, which is what Steve O'Donnell said. So I guess I take that back. What I said, where everything he said was correct. It's not. He specifically has been very open in stating that he and NASCAR want full throttle racing, pack racing for the last 3 years, because it goes back to 2019. So I don't quite understand how this has happened. Again, I'm very happy that it's happened. I am slightly worried that maybe NASCAR mistakenly fell on this. Like everyone says, they have the best engineers, they have the best people to make these decisions. But everyone's been very clear within NASCAR that you guys have stated you want pack racing. So how have we fallen upon what I want and what a lot of fans want and what drivers want? And now you guys are saying you wanted it. But it's been very clear through the process from everything these guys have said that they want pack racing. This isn't pack racing. So I'm a little bit confused on that part. I'm a little bit confused as to how they've fallen on this. I don't know. I've always said from the get-go that I believe the next-gen car is going to be a very good car. I still stand by that to this day. I love so many things about it. But I've been very, concrete about, I think, if we're running 550 horsepower in this car, it doesn't matter what car it is, you're just going to go full throttle. I don't know. We have to see this thing in action. Maybe NASCAR's fears of full throttle racing with this car, maybe the car just is too hard to drive. Even full throttle, it just doesn't work. So somehow, some way, maybe they really have mistakenly fallen upon, like Keselowski said, a 2005 Cup car, which is what we all want. We want these cars hard to drive. Cautions will go up. People backing it into the wall, people wrecking, all that stuff will go up because it just seems like the level of security that these drivers have nowadays, it's not going to be anything like they had the last 3 years. So it's going to go back to, as Mr. O'Donnell said here, putting it back in the driver's hands. All this is great. It's just a little bit confusing because this is not what they've been pushing for the last 3 years. It kind of came out of nowhere, which is why me and a lot of you guys were really shocked when we heard, oh, they're going with it. And then I was like, oh, well, it might be a bigger spoiler. Oh, no, they're going with a smaller spoiler. Oh, they're going to go full. We're going all in with this. We're going all in terms of the awesome driving and what NASCAR is all about, sliding the rear end and taking these heavy, dumb cars that are just so big and heavy and, being able to race at 190 miles per hour. I'm not going to say 200 because I don't think this car can reach 200 miles per hour with 670 horsepower, but 190 miles per hour and off throttle time and the High Line and comers and goers and maybe a new tire, because Goodyear has to come with a new tire. Tire wear might come back. Again, I'm just speculating, but because we have to see multiple races. But will tire wear be a thing? More 4-tire stops, because when the tires wear out, you got to manage all this stuff, and more spread out racing. But the drivers have control again. Like, this is what we're getting, but it's all completely opposite of what NASCAR wanted. So I'm just kind of confused by it. Either way, I'm just very, very happy. Now, he also does talk about Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta, because, again, we now have to classify Atlanta with Daytona and Talladega. It is essentially a mini plate track. Now I'm starting to question, did Atlanta really have this in mind? Did they reconfigure their track thinking it was going to be 550 horsepower, but now it's going to be even less for them and they're going to be a plate track? Do they want to be a plate track? Is this what they wanted all along? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess so. But O'Donnell said that we've done a number of tests already, but our next step in the process for Superspeedways will be in Atlanta early January to confirm what package we want to put on the racetrack. We expect that to be the Superspeedway package. So they're not sure about making Atlanta a Superspeedway track, but they will. You cannot, the way that track will be, it's going to be a plate race. From there, we'll go to Daytona on the 11th and 12th of January, and what we're looking at is the speed of the car. So there's potential we could shorten the spoiler a little bit, but we've made some cooling adjustments to the car that affected a little bit of the drag. So we want to make sure that the speeds are commensurate. I can't speak English with where we've run in the past. So yeah, I don't think anyone has a lot of complaints about the pack racing that we've had at plate tracks. Again, I don't know how much I have to stress this enough. Because we like Daytona and Talladega as fans does not mean we want that type of racing 15 times a year. I don't know if that's where NASCAR lost the messaging. I don't believe them to be that dumb to think that's what fans wanted. But yeah, so we don't want that. We want 4 times a year, special occasions, beautiful, but we don't want it on a consistent basis because the whole point of plate racing back in the day was for safety. 190 miles per hour, pack racing, bump drafting, 3 wide, all that nonsense. Yeah, I was in the minority of, I thought the plate racing was a little bit too dangerous. A lot of wrecks, a lot of like demolition derbies in the last few years. Where I would, prefer a little bit more of a mid-2000s style of plate race where, yeah, you could have pack racing, just a little bit more spread out, like not as bumper car-ish, the run's not as large and causing these wrecks. So the rate of the closing rate specifically, the closing rate was a lot less back in the day, and I kind of liked that style of racing because it took a lot more driver skill to really understand the air and figure out how you can get up through there because it was very difficult to do so. But you could still run 3 wide. You could still block. You could still do all that. You could still bump draft, all these things. It's gotten a little bit too hectic for my liking, but I think I've been in the minority for that. A lot of people have really liked the plate racing. And if the driver is able to do it, it becomes a great race. But the thing is, like, most of the time you just wreck. So that's kind of how it always was. But they're going to run that. And so we have one package for all tracks except for the plate tracks, just like we always used to be, back in the day. And I'm just really happy about all this. I can't stress it enough, guys. I'm just really happy. 4-inch spoiler. You're going to see these cars. I can't stress this enough. You're going to see a lot of wrecks. Like, this car, just by testing alone, it's tough. And when you tell a driver, hey, go out there for 400 miles, and, we don't know how this thing's going to react a lot of times in dirty air. It seems like once it gets sideways, it's very difficult to save. We're talking, this could be like, when you remember when Charlotte was repaved and in those mid-2000s races, you had like 18 cautions in like the Coke 600. It's going to be like that, where people just wreck and wreck and wreck for the first few races of the season because everyone's trying to get a grasp on the car. So it's going to be entertaining in one way because we're going to see a lot of crashes, and crashes are entertainment. There's no one other way to spill this. I mean, NASCAR's essentially been WWE half the time in the last like 5 years. But just a lot of weird things. So comment down below. Like, let me know what you guys think. Did NASCAR plan this for 2 years? Were we just testing out the 550 horsepower package to then completely go away from it? Was that supposed to be what the next gen car was supposed to do, but they messed it up? Like, again, they'll never come out and say it. They will say the great PR thing of, hey, this is what the fans wanted, even though you guys never gave the fans a chance to say this is what we wanted. This is what the drivers wanted, even though for the last 3 years, you guys never listened to the drivers and wanted full throttle racing and had drivers openly come out in the media and say, hey, if you want this, let us help you, but you wouldn't let us help, so we don't know what you want. Again, that's the reality of the situation. How we got here, whatever, I'm happy with the result. It's very odd to see how we got there, but like, let me know what you guys think. Conspiracy theories. I don't think really it's as simple as that, this is how it always was going to be. I think they accidentally fell upon this. And perfect, because this is exactly how it. Now, if we could just maybe get rid of the stupid one race championship, we could have playoffs. You can have playoffs, okay? Just get rid of the stupid one race championship. Make it a 10 race chase again. I don't care, whatever you want. Just don't make it decided in one race. And then I would literally never complain about anything ever again. This was always my main complaint. 550 horsepower in this nonsensical racing. It's gone. Thank you. Honestly, God bless America. Thank you guys so much. Now, just one more thing. Just get rid of the stupid, championship race. Push your drivers' personalities. Focus on the media. Focus on technology. Pushing, study a lot of what F1's doing. And you can really grow the sport again. Because right now the sport's kind of like, flatlined. It's not falling anymore. It's just like, doop. But there's a lot of good things. Steve Phelps is doing a lot of good things with the schedule. So keep the momentum going. Mr. O'Donnell, if you're not on Twitter anymore, I apologize for everyone bullying you. Good job. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know how this happened, but thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. We'll be back to the gaming stuff. But yeah, I'm actually really excited for the 2022 season now. Seriously, I have not been this excited for a season in a very long time. Probably since Gordon's last season back in 2015, which then that was a terrible season because the cars sucked. We had high horsepower, high downforce, and Gordon sucked that entire year, even though he made the championship race. So yeah, that was not a very good season. But that was the last time I was actually genuinely excited for a season. So it's been 6 years. I'm excited for 2022. Like genuinely, I promise right now, I'm going to sit back, relax, and watch and enjoy because this is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm very interested to see if Kyle Larson can obliterate the field again. I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. Subscribe if you're new. And peace out.
I'm mad right now.
I know you're angry.
I'm pissed right now.
Have at it.